Day 14 of 365, and today we're cracking open two protocols your network runs on every single second, DHCP and ARP. Here's why you should care: both hand out trust to anyone who asks. No password, no verification. If an attacker is on your network segment, these two handshakes are how they redirect your traffic through their machine without touching a single firewall. Let's break it down. Start with DHCP. When your laptop joins a network, it has no IP address. So it shouts a discover packet to everyone. A DHCP server replies with an offer, your laptop sends a request, the server sends an acknowledge. Discover, offer, request, acknowledge, Dora. Remember that word. In 30 milliseconds you've got an IP, a subnet mask, a DNS server, and a default gateway. The catch? Your laptop accepts the first valid offer it hears. It never asks who sent it. That's the attack. A rogue DHCP server sits on the same segment and races the real one. If the attacker's offer arrives first, your laptop takes its settings, including a gateway pointing at the attacker's box and a DNS server the attacker controls. Now every packet you send to the internet flows through them first. They see your traffic, they can modify it, they can phish you with fake login pages. And from your side? Everything looks normal. You got an IP. You're online. That's what makes it nasty. Now ARP, the second trust. DHCP gave you an IP, but to actually send a frame to your gateway, you need its MAC address, the hardware address. So your machine broadcasts, who has 192.168.1.1? Tell me. That's an ARP request. The gateway replies, that's me, here's my MAC. Your machine caches it and moves on. Run ARP, A on Windows or IP show on Linux right now, you'll see that cache, IPs mapped to MAC addresses your machine currently trusts. Here's the problem. ARP is stateless. It caches any reply it receives, even replies to questions it never asked. These are called gratuitous ARP replies. An attacker sends one saying the gateway's IP belongs to my MAC address. Your machine believes it and overwrites the cache. Now you think you're talking to the router, but you're talking to the attacker. That's ARP cache poisoning, and a few lines of Python with Scapy can craft that spoofed reply. No authentication anywhere in the protocol stops it. So how do you detect it? On Linux, install ARPWatch. It logs every IP to MAC mapping it sees and screams when one changes. Flip-flop in its log means an IP suddenly has a new MAC. That's your poisoning signature. Watch it with Journal ARPWatch. You can also snapshot your ARP table with ARP, save it as a baseline, and diff it on a schedule. New MAC on an existing IP? Investigate. On the DHCP side, audit your lease table. On Windows, get DHCP Server 4 lease shows every active lease and which client took it. Wireshark makes both visible. Filter bootp or DHCP and you'll watch the full Dora exchange packet by packet, and spot a second server answering if there's a rogue one. Filter ARP and you'll see the requests and replies fly by. 2 replies for the same IP from different MACs. That's poisoning in progress. With tk-dump, it's tk-dump n ARP or tk-dump n port 67 or port 68 for DHCP. Capture, baseline, compare, that's the whole detection workflow. But detection is reactive. The real fix lives on your switch. It's called Dynamic ARP Inspection, or DAI, and it works with DHCP snooping. DHCP snooping builds a trusted table of which IP belongs to which MAC on which port, by watching legitimate DHCP leases. DAI then checks every ARP reply against that table and drops anything that lies. One feature kills rogue DHCP and ARP poisoning together. If you manage a network, this is the setting that matters. Day 14 done. The takeaway: DHCP and ARP trust by default, so Layer 2 attacks still work in 2026, but ARPWatch, lease audits, and dynamic ARP inspection give you eyes and a wall. Subscribe for Day 15.